What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Dima, Mary J Music. So my boy Anthony Brian Logan puts up this very well thought out, powerful video about Stacey Abrams. And if you don't know who Anthony Brian Logan, I would suggest you go and subscribe, hit the bell on his pathway to 1 million subscribers and stop the show. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, hit the bell on me also, But anyways, so what happened is that black voters in 2018 in Georgia, because she's running for, I believe, governor, black people came out obviously in the Democratic Party to support Stacey Abrams at around high 90%. And black men in 2018 came to support her around the same percentage. This time, Stacey Abrams and the campaign noticed that black men were significantly dropping in the low 80%, right? And what I'd like to do is play this particular clip from Anthony Brian Logan because he's a political expert on the matter. And then we're going to come back and then we're going to talk about it.
So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Democratic candidate for governor down there in Georgia, Stacey Abrams, attacking black men yet again. Now, what you just saw was now former MSNBC host Tiffany Cross attacking black men, talking about, hey, y'all following all this weird stuff with Kevin Samuels and Tariq Nasheed, all this stuff on YouTube. Don't worry about that. Just get in line with the black woman. Just get in line, do what we say, and vote Democrat. No, we're not going to bring anything to the table. No, we're not really going to campaign for your vote the way that everybody else does. We're not going to do that. Just vote Democrat and shut up about it. Get in line with the black women who vote Democrat 95, almost 100% of the time. Unfortunately, shout out to all the black women who don't vote Democrat, who are off the Democrat plantation. And shout out to the black men who don't vote Democrat as well, who think for yourselves. Unfortunately, there's far too many of us who vote Democrat and we don't really ask for anything in return. So therefore, these people like your Tiffany Cross and your Stacey Abrams feel like the vote is entitled to them. Now, before I go any further into it, let's play what Stacey Abrams said.
I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation, not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve. And my campaign has been the only one that has very intentionally, thoughtfully, and consistently reached out. That has been misconstrued as concern when it indeed is just respect.
There's so much there. Okay, first of all, first things first. Misinformation, is that what it is? When you say something like that, you act like we're just dumb and we are believing whatever we're told. If that's the case, then why didn't that work the last time we voted for you? Because you got to understand, there's been a dramatic drop off in the black male vote for Stacey Abrams. I think it was over 90% last time or close to it. Now it's dipped down into the 80s or the low 80s. I think she's at 80% for black men, but it may have been over 90% at one point or close to it. If y'all know the exact numbers, y'all let me know in the comments, but I know there's been a drop off. For black women, it's pretty much been the same. It's not really been much of a change. It's been right around the same, like 94, 95%, which is very high. Now, the reason why that particular thing matters is because Georgia is 33% black, if I'm not mistaken. The entire state, not just Atlanta. Atlanta, obviously, is probably majority black, at least in the city limits. But Georgia itself is 33% black, which is very high.
Now, I want to play a small clip again of what he said about not offering black men value for their vote. I want to play that and come back and focus on that.
Don't worry about that. Just get in line with the black woman. Just get in line, do what we say, and vote Democrat. No, we're not going to bring anything to the table. No, we're not really going to campaign for your vote the way that everybody else does. We're not going to do that. Just vote Democrat and shut up about it. Get in line with the black women who vote Democrat 95, almost 100% of the time.
So here's where we're talking about. All right. Stacey Abrams represents, a political system that the last 50 years have neglected black families and black men. So instead of being accountable for that, well, what have we seen? A lot of shaming, a lot of blame shifting, moving the goalpost. Now we're talking about voter misinformation. The reality is that the Democratic Party doesn't want to compete, which makes sense because the Democratic Party in the black community is 90% or more women. And we understand that women, this is the big thing that Kevin Samuels talked about. You want something from black men, but you don't really want to compete for black men. Okay. You're entitled, as Anthony Brian Logan said, to the black male vote. Okay. And so what happens when these particular African-American men or black men in America start to realize, wait a minute, I matter. I don't want to just be on the voting block voting because my mom told me to vote for Barack Obama. No, I actually want something for my vote. Just like I want something from black women in relationships. In other words, I'm looking for value. Now, I want to talk about this because this is some of the situations that I've been talking about here on this channel, even with the pro-black community and why black men are, not associating themselves with that. We are not getting value for the participation that people want from us in the black community. You can say whatever you want to say about black men. You can say they're lazy. You can say that black men are apathetic, and that can be true to certain degrees. But really, there's no motivating factors because the Democratic Party has simply not come to black men and asked black men, what is it that you're looking for? And to be fair, black men don't have, any kind of agenda. So if that's the case, as political people who want your vote and to keep your constituency, what do we need to do for you? What are some of the issues that you are suffering from or things that you might want? They do that to black women, sure. But with black men, they don't even do that. So then when black men don't want to vote for you, you're not looking at why they don't want to vote for you. There's a reason why they don't want to vote for you. It's just that the reason for you doesn't matter. All right? Just think about us as black men. We're dealing with women in relationships, the women in our community, and we say, you know what? I know that you women have issues, but it doesn't matter. We don't need we don't even need to rectify those issues because you're just women. Like, why do we need to even talk about that? That would make women feel very bad. And it does. But I honestly tell you guys, a lot of women in the black community, it doesn't matter if they hurt black men's feelings for the most part. Politically, emotionally, if black women say something about you, it doesn't matter. You should be able to deal with it, right? It only matters if you hurt their feelings. So now, if they're hurting your feelings and not giving you what you want, that's completely okay. It's only okay if it's the other way around, if you're not giving them what they want. Now, as black men politically, we are requesting certain levels of respect in Georgia that we have not seen from the Democratic Party. And then what do you hear? Down talking. Okay? Down talking. You're hearing public shaming. All right? That's what we heard in the earlier clip with Tiffany Cross. Get in line, get in the line with the black woman. And it doesn't matter what your issues are. Who cares about what you think? It simply doesn't matter. And fundamentally, that's the problem in the black world that we're having. We don't want to be competitive, and you don't want to give the people that you say you want something for your vote. And it's the same thinking that women use in relationships in the black community. Not all, but I'm just saying some. You want this guy to be high value and rich, but what do you want to do for the guy in exchange? I can tell you the same thing the Democratic Party wants to do, which is not very much. That's why you see black men either not voting as much or going over to, Big Red, okay, which is the conservatives, the Republicans, or being independent, or just being disgruntled with Democrats altogether. Because Democrats are not going to give you anything. They're not going to give you anything, right? We know that. Partly, that's our fault for not establishing an agenda. But on average, they have no intention to give you anything. That's what brothers are understanding. Things are not going to change. I'm still going to be relegated in my own community. Why should I support this? And women are saying, well, hey, as a base, we can go for everybody else, the Asians and whoever, see what their issues. When it comes to you don't want to vote first because of misinformation, not because of your own personal experience. I noticed that with black men, a lot of folks want to discount our personal experience with them to say something different. A lot of times I hear that argument with black women. They want to really dismiss your personal experience and then try to blame that on something else, be it white supremacy or, your own personal misconceptions of your own emotional ability or standpoints instead of dealing with the issue at hand. They don't want to typically deal with those things. And let's just deal with something else. This is not all people, but I'm talking about those who are really on the left, those who are Democratic, and then you lose people like that, which is why Stacey Abrams will also lose this election for governor of Georgia. And you can thank your inability to compete for black men as the reason. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.